All right, welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Let's take a look at some of the headlines in the dailies this morning. I'll kick off with the Punch. And we have here governors battle cash crunch. Quite the kind of headline we want to see. Not just the battle, we want to see the effects of the battle as it plays out. Delta, Imo, Cross River, Oyo lead as states borrow 130 billion naira in 3 months. Okay, 17 shortfall hits states internally generated revenue, and debts rise to 5.5 trillion naira. Those were not the annotations or the riders I was expecting on that headline. There are different ways to battle the cash crunch. I think for me, empowering the citizens is the major number one, but it has gone that way. The point is we expect the economy to be revived and teething times, you know. Hopefully we push up all through this. And the picture story there is that of gridlock. Okay, this gridlock is on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway on Sunday. Sunday, I felt Sunday, okay, it was Saturday night. So Saturday morning, I even had to be here at the office, and then there are times when my route will take me past areas that connects to Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. And it was quite good Saturday morning. But then from the evening, there were complaints about how serious the traffic was on a Brobdingnagian scale. It really went up, and there were a lot of complaints, and probably that, stretched into Sunday morning, because most of the time it's overnight with the trailers that are making their way out of Lagos. I feel like the agencies there, especially the Federal Roadworks and Maintenance Agency, and maybe the FRSC, LOMA also included, should maybe give us some sort of warnings or some sort of notices. Because what happens is that there are times when the road is closed for repairs, some parts of the road are closed, and then you have probably just one lane for the cars to pass. So if people know ahead of time that this kind of things are happening, or they get that notice in time, then maybe some people might not go out if it's not expedient for them to. So hopefully we can get such notices, because I don't think that kind of a notice was given out. And so by this morning, it's quite free. So probably by Sunday evening, it was opened up. It's quite free, but we know that the major cause of this particular gridlock is that they are walking on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, and it might just be so for some time. Underneath that one, Mourns as kidnappers kill RCCG pastor and 7 churchgoers rescued. Quite a sad one there. UTME top performer manipulated score and faces prosecution. Maybe we might talk about that one. As you know, I remember when we spoke about the cutoff mark being at 140, and then there was talk about allowing some of the candidates get into the hall with their phones and all of that. But I had heard about this story, and considering that if we look at the age of a child, under 18 might be a minor, we'll have to take a look at those who facilitated or who made sure or made it easy for that kind of thing to happen, because maybe a child like that might not be able to perpetrate such an action on his or her own. So, there has to be a lot looking at the venue, looking at the, those who in charge of the center where that particular exam was written. Okay, but let's just take one more headline there. Okay, NLC to meet Tinubu on 65-year retirement age. All of that on the front page of the Punch. And then over to the Nation. Investors now, quite a number of the headlines on the dailies this morning are business related. Investors 4.35 trillion naira gain in 1 month boosts economy. Someone's talking about how much Nigeria has saved so far from the removal of fuel subsidy in just a month. And it is quite a humongous sum there. So, yeah, debt toll of Nigerian pilgrims rises to 13. Banks collected 8.9 trillion naira deposits in 12 months. And there's something there about the ranking of banks and all of that. Okay, we can see here Chinese naval ships in Nigeria. 2 dead in U.S. mass shooting. That has been quite a recurrent theme in the U.S. in recent times. Rioters raid home of French mayor. Of course, you know about the riots happening over the past 4-5 days in France due to, of course, the accidental shooting of a 17-year-old by a police. It's been going on for a while now, and President Emmanuel Macron has even blamed this on video games. Yeah, he said because we have a younger demography of rioters. So the number of them are below 17, 15, 14. And that might be understandable because it was a teenager was the one shot and killed. And so he blamed the violence and the riots on the streets of Paris on video games. That's talking about President, 45-year-old Emmanuel Macron. Okay, so let's just take one more headline there on The Nation. And the presidency rejects EU's 2023 poll report. Yeah, we saw that one. The talk is, of course, that the elections were fair and fair. That's talk coming from the Nigerian government, and that the EU should maybe just give some breathing space. That is what the report is all about. Over to the Vanguard here, revealed Tinubu's move against terrorism. This is now where we get into governance, and this is what we want to see. How does this play out? Quite a number of annotations underneath that particular headline. Comprehensive onslaught against terrorists and bandits begin. Okay? Security architecture set for review. The other one says rules of engagement to be determined by the nature of security threat. More shake-up imminent in the security services. President vows to stop crude oil theft. Economic policies to reflect contemporary realities. And then scores of captives released as farmers return to their farms in Northwest. Consultations in the political, economic, and security spheres continue. This is one headline that has the most annotations I have ever seen. Just about 7 or 8 of them there. All of that on the that headline. Above the headline, you see there the march to Nigeria's economic recovery. Yes, speaking about it, I mean, the other day I saw this article about a farmer who was transporting yam from Benue State to parts of the country. You know, due to terrorism, of course, we know that a number of the parts of these countries where they are being terrorized are farmers. We get our food from them. And so when you have these people on the road, I mean, it goes without saying that when the roads are not safe, it's going to make transporting of food hard. So yes, stamping out terrorism is a major pathway towards the recovery of the economy. That's quite a very big one there. All right, let's check out other headlines still on the Vanguard. And it has the same headline about the presidency rejecting the EU's report on 2023 elections. We've spoken about that much earlier. Let's see here. There's something on sports here. Eh? It says Mbappe wants £206 million to join any club. Whoa, Baba, you go stay for that PSG small. £206 million. That's a year. Oh. Ha. Okay. All right. Let's look at some other headlines here. Fuel subsidy made e-vehicles unattractive in Nigeria. Well, there is a report. I told you that some few months back, Nigeria's first e-vehicle, that's electricity-powered vehicle, was unveiled in Abuja. So we're looking forward to much more of that. But it will quite take some time because charging points, can you travel with them and all of that? How can that work out? All right, let's just end on a light note, very light note here. That's Mr. and Mrs. Did you notice the small size of food served at the party? Have they removed subsidy from party refreshments too? And that's from Mrs. And Mr. says, OMG, I hope I have not sprayed the celebrants with the money meant for petrol. I love those cartoons. Growing up much younger, I would pick a paper from my dad, and the first thing I'll go to was for the graphic illustrations there, the cartoons. Okay? All right. Somebody, of course, that definitely would do that when he was much younger is Mazino. You might want to tell us about that while he's getting set for breakfast this morning.
I'll tell you something.